For decades, NATO's security strategy has depended heavily on American troops, aircraft, and military infrastructure across Europe. But that assumption is suddenly being tested. A new Pentagon review could reshape the U.S. military presence on the continent, forcing allies to prepare for a future where they may need to shoulder far more of the burden themselves. Your roadmap to the latest in auto, welcome to Highway Herald. Today, we're counting down 5 major developments driving this shift, why Canada may be emerging as one of the biggest beneficiaries, and how billions in new aerospace and defense spending could transform the industry for years to come. Number 5. The Pentagon reassesses America's European footprint. The story begins with a decision that could reshape NATO's future. On June 18th, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced a formal Pentagon review of American military deployments across Europe. The review will assess whether NATO allies are moving quickly enough toward taking greater responsibility for their own defense, and could influence future force posture decisions throughout the alliance. For decades, American troops, aircraft, intelligence networks, and logistics infrastructure have formed the backbone of NATO's deterrence strategy. While no major troop reductions have been announced, the review sends a clear signal that Washington wants allies to shoulder more of the burden. Its long-term impact could extend far beyond military planning, influencing future fighter purchases, drone programs, and defense industrial investments across Europe and North America. But troop deployments are only part of the story. As Washington reviews its role, NATO members are already preparing for a future that may require them to fill critical capability gaps themselves. Number 4. NATO moves to strengthen critical defense capabilities. The Pentagon review is only one piece of a much larger shift. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte recently confirmed that alliance members are already working to address capability gaps created by reductions in certain U.S. contributions to NATO crisis response forces. While the alliance remains highly capable, some American assets may not be available at previous levels in the future. These capabilities include fighter aircraft, surveillance systems, drones, logistics networks, maritime assets, and other specialized military equipment. Replacing them will take time. Advanced defense systems require years of development, procurement, training, and manufacturing expansion. As a result, NATO members may invest billions into aerospace production, defense technology, electronics, communication systems, and advanced manufacturing, making industrial capacity just as important as military capability itself. And as Europe searches for new production capacity and trusted suppliers, one country may be positioned to benefit more than many observers expected. Number 3. Canada's SAFE partnership gains new strategic weight. Canada's entry into Europe's Safe Defense Initiative suddenly looks far more important. Recently, Canada became the first non-European nation granted access to the European Union's €150 billion Security Action for Europe, or SAFE program. The initiative was designed to strengthen European defense manufacturing and accelerate military investment across the continent. Initially, SAFE appeared to be mainly about procurement cooperation. But as NATO allies prepare to assume greater defense responsibilities, Europe will need more than funding. It will need production capacity, trusted suppliers, and industrial partners capable of delivering advanced military equipment. That creates a major opportunity for Canada. With access to SAFE, Canadian companies could compete for contracts tied to one of the largest defense investment programs currently underway in the Western world. But SAFE is only part of the story. The bigger question is whether Canada can leverage this opportunity into a much larger role within NATO's long-term plans. Number 2. Canada emerges as a key player in NATO's next chapter. Canada's role within NATO is evolving faster than many expected. For years, discussions about strengthening the alliance typically centered on Europe's largest military powers. Today, Canada is increasingly being viewed as an important contributor to NATO's future capabilities. As allies face growing pressure to invest more in their own defense, Ottawa has been expanding its focus on aerospace innovation, advanced manufacturing, and defense technology development. This shift creates opportunities that extend far beyond military procurement. Canada's aerospace sector already has strong expertise in aircraft production, avionics, simulation technology, sensors, and mission systems. As NATO priorities evolve, demand for surveillance aircraft, drones, command and control systems, and specialized electronics could continue growing. Rather than serving primarily as a buyer of foreign equipment, Canada is steadily positioning itself as a valuable contributor to the alliance's future industrial and technological foundation. If you're enjoying this analysis so far, consider subscribing to Highway Herald. Your support helps us continue bringing you in-depth coverage of the industries, technologies, and geopolitical developments shaping the future of transportation, aerospace, manufacturing, and defense. Yet the most important consequence of all may not involve governments or military planners. It may involve something much closer to the factory floor. Number 1, defense manufacturing could be the ultimate winner. The biggest outcome of this story may not be troop deployments, it may be industrial production. As NATO members pursue greater self-reliance, demand for surveillance aircraft, drones, radar systems, naval platforms, missile defense networks, and other advanced military equipment could rise sharply over the next decade. That means more factories, engineers, skilled tradespeople, advanced materials, and supply chains stretching across Canada and Europe. For automotive enthusiasts, the parallels are clear. Modern defense manufacturing relies on many of the same strengths found in vehicle production, including precision machining, robotics, electronics, software integration, batteries, and advanced materials. Whether troop levels ultimately change or not, NATO's future may increasingly depend on the combined industrial capabilities of Canada, Europe, and their defense manufacturing partners. And when all of these developments are viewed together, a much larger picture begins to emerge. Final analysis. NATO's transformation is already underway. The Pentagon's review of U.S. forces in Europe does not guarantee major troop reductions. However, it clearly signals Washington's desire for allies to assume a larger share of collective defense responsibilities. In response, NATO members are accelerating investments, expanding procurement plans, and strengthening industrial cooperation. At the same time, Canada's access to Europe's €150 billion SAFE initiative places Canadian manufacturers in a potentially strong position as demand for defense equipment continues to grow. What initially appeared to be separate developments are increasingly becoming part of a broader transformation. The question is no longer whether NATO is changing. The evidence suggests that change is already happening. The bigger question is, which countries and industries will be best positioned to support the alliance's next generation of defense capabilities? Now we'd love to hear from you. Do you think NATO allies are prepared to take on a larger defense role without relying as heavily on the United States? Could Canada become one of the biggest aerospace and defense manufacturing winners over the next decade? Which emerging defense technologies do you believe will have the greatest impact on future military capabilities? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We always enjoy hearing perspectives from our Highway Herald community. If you enjoyed this update, be sure to subscribe to Highway Herald and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest vehicle, aerospace, defense, and industry coverage. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next update. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting.